Hello again, welcome back everyone. LiquorHound here with you, and thank you for joining me once again for a video, but not necessarily a spirit review video this time. And actually the reason that I decided to shoot this video was because I purchased a couple of items recently that were very impressive to me. And so anytime I come across something like this and I find that build quality and the actual performance of the item really well crafted and something that I feel like all my fellow spirit enthusiasts can use, I'll go ahead and do a review like this. Hasn't happened a lot, okay? Of course, I've done reviews on glassware, and I've talked about a couple of these in that, actually 3 of these in that. But I want to go ahead and start with these at first, and then we'll work our way into the new items right here. First and foremost, good old Glencairn, right? I love this. I use it daily in my job where I'm blending spirits. I'm constantly using one of these, sampling out of barrels. This is the glass I'm out there with, okay? Love it. It's available everywhere, fairly inexpensive, anywhere from, if you're buying bulk, you might be able to get them for $7, $10, somewhere in there. But, if this was to break, which you don't really want to break these because they do go into 1,000 pieces. But if these were to break, I don't feel so bad because after the cleanup, easy to replace, all right? Again, well-performing glass all around. I don't care if I'm doing mezcal or tequila or cognac or, vodka, gin. You see me shooting a review, it is pretty much always in this glass, and that's for a reason, all right? Tried and true. Now, this one looks like a Glencairn, maybe a slightly bigger, wider Glencairn, and this is from the folks at DuraDram. Now, DuraDram has been doing these glasses for a few years now. They've actually changed the design slightly. Now I think it's more of a hexagonal shape, but this glass works really well because it's silicone. And I like it because I can take it out by the pool. You don't have to worry about it breaking in the pool. That would be horrendous. Also, I keep these in my car, in the back of my car sometimes, because in an emergency, if I'm out and about and I have to have a glass right away, and I don't have a Glencairn in the back, I know I always have this back there. So quick rinse and you're good to go. Now, as far as performance of this glass, it does work fairly well. It's not quite as good as the glass Glencairn, of course, but it gets the job done. And the other thing I will say about this glass is when you first buy this glass, typically there's a little bit of a smell to it, just that fresh silicone smell. So I had to run this through the dishwasher a few times, but after about, I think it was like 3 or so washes, it's clean now. So now it's just a matter of rinsing out, cleaning again, and throwing it back in the car, and I'm good to go. So really like that one from DuraDram. Of course, I'm going to put all these kind of links, I think, in the description. Maybe I'll put it across the bottom, but that's what that is. Now, if I'm doing a softer spirit, something like a cognac or any kind of brandy for that matter, really low-proof bourbon, sometimes I'll go to this glass, a Stölzel, the Stölzel whiskey glass. I really like how wide the base is, and the mouth itself is a little wider than a Glencairn, so it doesn't quite nose as well as a Glen, but that wide base has a lot of surface area, so that spirit has a good amount of volume to spread out, kind of start presenting itself really well. And again, for kind of in lieu of a brandy snifter, I'll use this a lot. So Stölzel, all right? Now, anytime I'm into a high proof spirit, as this happens a lot in the, let's say, single malt world, and you start getting into, above 120 proof, you can get it done with a Glencairn, of course, but typically I like to break the Eisch out. And the Eisch whiskey nosing glass is phenomenal at that, because what it actually does is when you're nosing high proof spirits, a lot of times with a Glen, you really have to kind of concentrate and breathe in through your mouth and your nose at the same time just to kind of cut, that high ABV so it doesn't burn your nose all the way down. But for whatever magical reason, the Eisch, and I think it's because of the way that flares, that Eisch, when you're nosing a high proof spirit, it automatically pretty much cuts a lot of what the Glen is missing and letting through. It cuts it out. So you're able to concentrate not just on that high alcohol content, you're actually able to concentrate on the aromatics again. And so when we're, tasting single malts together and somebody has a Glen and somebody has an Eisch, a lot of times if you switch, you rotate just so that you can each nose each other's glass, you can definitely see the side-by-side difference that a high ABV spirit will do in an Eisch comparatively. All right, so let me go ahead and set these aside a little bit, and we're going to get on to this rocks looking glass, right? This is the Eisch and Or dual glass. And if you've been following my channel for any length of time, I think you'll probably remember me reviewing this maybe about 3 or 4 years ago I did. And this glass is very, very well made, and I love this glass. Matter of fact, I think I ended up buying 6 of them. And the reason was because they come with the rocks, like a mold. So if you want to make a big round rock mold, throw it in the freezer, you can have that ready, and it fits perfectly in this glass. Now, has a rounded bottom. It doesn't have any kind of paddles or anything in there like some other glasses like the Norland does, anything like that. But the double wall construction is thin, but not delicately thin, right? Because sometimes when they're too thin, oh, speaking of which, like the Eisch, you have to be really careful with the Eisch, because this just reminded me, that stem will snap on you. And this glass is about $50. So be very delicate. Hand wash the Eisch if you ever get one. And when you're setting them down, be very careful. I've had friends that have gone through like 5 of those glasses just from the stem snapping. But this glass does not feel, I don't feel really concerned that this is going to break, okay? It's fairly well built. And again, the thing I love most about it is the double-walled insulation. Keeps my glass cold. It does not start sweating and ponding on the patio table if I'm out there with friends. And so I really like the Duo glass. They sell them singly, they sell them in doubles, and I think 4-packs. And I'll go ahead and again, the link will be hopefully either on screen or in the description. But back to that Eisch Jeunesse, okay? Great company with that glass. Recently, a good friend of mine brought one of these out, okay? And this is what they call the Eisch and Or bottle flight. This thing right here has 4 little sample bottles inside. About 2.5 ounces, I think, can fit in each one. They are measured, and they are silicone kind of wrapped, all right? So glass bottles, nice little cap with a silicone ring up there so you don't have to worry about it leaking everywhere. It's got the Eisch Jeunesse emblem at the bottom. That's a really nice move. I'll try to put some pictures of that. And then, again, if you happen to drop it or you set it down, you can travel with it. You don't have to worry about it so much breaking, especially when it's in the case, because the case is well cushioned. Comes with a little marker so you can write right on the glass window there and tell yourself exactly what's in it so you don't forget. Color-wise, they come in like 3 different colors. I want to say they come in this gray, they come in a blue, and I think they do some kind of autumn fall color that's kind of like a rust color. So I really like that one. And again, I am not sponsored by Eisch Jeunesse. I don't get any kind of discounts. They don't send me stuff. The only reason I'm doing this video is because I'm really impressed with the quality of this. And I figured if I like it, you'll probably like it. So price point on this one, when I bought this with this neat traveler, which I'm about to show you in a second, was $106 shipped. So that was nice. It wasn't too bad there. But this neat traveler is, again, very cushioned. The container is cushioned. You don't have to worry about it breaking. Comes with a nice zipper, a little hanging little tab there. But when you open it up, there's a nice glass inside. You can tell there's really thick padding. Nice little glass. Another one of those little bottle traveler kits thing, sample bottles. Again, kind of the same situation. Measured. You can write on the window. It stores in the glass. I love that. Solid glass, nice base, good weighty feel to it. Fairly wide mouth, much wider than the Glencairn. So you're probably not going to get the best nose out of this glass. But again, you know, emergency situation, you're traveling. You know, sometimes I just like to just not even worry about trying to examine a spirit. Sometimes you just want to kick back and just relax and enjoy the spirit. That's what this glass is meant to do. And, you know, when you're traveling, maybe you're on a golf course, maybe you're somewhere else where you want to travel with, you know, a single glass, a single pour. There you go. Matter of fact, I ended up buying 2 of these because I wanted to have 2 of these on me so that, again, if I'm going with a friend, we're going somewhere, we can just take 2 of these, maybe throw in the kit, and there we are traveling with pretty much 6 bottles. Again, samples, 2.5 ounces of each. That's more than enough for probably 4 people, to be honest, for just a sample, right? And so that's what that's what I really like about it. And again, that's the only reason I decided to showcase these today. So hopefully you can get out there, go to AgeNowhere, I think it's .com, and you know, and I don't even have, like, you know, typically you'll hear people that are slinging this stuff talk about, I've got a, you know, a code or something. I don't have any of that. I'm not getting anything from this. But again, high quality, well made items. Hope you can add it to your collection and really make good use out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video review. Of course, if you do, please join me over at patreon.com/LiquorHound, where you can help me keep content like this rolling. Because again, I am self-purchasing all this stuff, and you know, that's what this channel's always been about, was helping you, the viewers. So join us over there if you can. If not, don't worry about it. I thank each and every one of my viewers, regardless of platform. Keep leaving all those great comments, and I'll get to them just as soon as I can. Everyone have a great day, and cheers.